What's up? What's happening? It's the one and only Jeff Axel. Back with another intriguing hoop panel. Got my man J Boogie with me. Got the two-man weave pick and roll, but we gonna make it flex and work tonight, man. How you living, J Boogie?
Man, can't complain, bro. Just living life, loving life. Can't complain.
Had an interesting hoops weekend. Tay lucky he ain't on here because I'd have been on his scout about that Knicks performance over the weekend. But I'm gonna wait till he's on the episode. We ain't gonna talk about them. Today's episode, we just gonna talk about the under the radar teams, the teams that's been playing well in the Eastern and Western Conference, ranging from the 4 seed down to the 8 seed. We just want to highlight them, show them some love. So we're gonna start off with the Eastern Conference. I know a lot of people say Eastern Conference is like a two-man conference. It's only the Celtics and the Cavs and everything. But Indiana Pacers have been playing really good basketball ever since 2025 started. They're 16-4. Currently on a 3-game winning streak. We're going to dive into them in a little bit. Then you got the Detroit Pistons. They're playing excellent basketball. They done won 6 straight. They're above 500. Cade Cunningham, all-NBA caliber player. Jalen Duren, he's finally been unlocked, playing consistent and being a force inside. Yeah. Then the Bucks, ever since the Kuzma and Kevin Porter Jr. trade, they've been playing pretty well too. They're on a 4-game winning streak. Giannis still cooking. Dame, he's playing well. So we'll start off with the Pacers, man. How you feeling about the Pacers so far?
Perfect definition is resilient because they were starting off real bad beginning of the year. And then 10-25, they've pretty much been one of the best teams in the East, 16-4. And when I look at this team, they got the offense, they got the transition, they got the floor spacing, and then they don't have, I would say, a scary perimeter defender team, but they got interior defense with Miles Turner being the anchor. And when I look at their bench, I'm like, you can't sleep on their bench because, like I mentioned before, you got Obi Toppin, who was on the Knicks. All he did was just, dunk the ball. But when he came to the Pacers, now he can spread the floor and shoot. And then him playing along with TJ McCollum, you got the Nimhards, you got the Benedict Mathurin. Offensively speaking, they got it all. From outside, inside, mid-range, finishing, passing, they got it. And, pretty much when they play with a lot of energy, I mean, you can't stop them because Tyrese Halliburton can get you a whoopee with, I say, probably a good, strong 18 points, but he can give you 15 assists. And then Siakam, who was an all-star, I mean, the dude, I would say is one of the best role players I've seen in recent memory because he can score really good on the road. And then you got Miles Turner, a two-way big, pick and pop, and then, blocking shots. So they got everything they need in terms of offense. So, I mean, like I said, 16-4 ain't no fluke. I mean, they just bounced back, being resilient, and looking strong like they was last season.
Yeah, man. So Siakam's averaging 21 a game. Halliburton's averaging 18 and 9 assists. Like, Benedict Mathurin's averaging 16, Turner averaging 15, Nembhard 11, Toppin 10, McConnell 10.
See,
Aaron Nesmith, Ben Shepherd, he gives you production off the bench. Thomas Bryant, it's been a good pickup for them because they lost their 2 centers earlier this year with Isaiah Jackson and Wiseman to the Achilles injuries. So Rick Carlisle's done a really good job. I know a lot of people last year were saying they were a fluke.
Yeah.
And like, oh, they only got there because the Bucks and the Knicks were injured. Like, hey, they bounced back this year with a really good record. So I don't know how far they can go. Them and the Bucks will be an interesting playoff series.
Yeah. Now with Giannis being back healthy, and then people forget this dude averaged 40 points against the Pacers in the regular season last season. So just imagine if he was available in last year's playoffs. So I'm just like, and then you got Dame, of course, and then now they got Kuzma and KPJ. So that's definitely gonna be one of the most intriguing matchups if they face each other in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, man. Like, Giannis is really averaging 31, 12, and 6. And it's just like mad under the radar. It's just crazy.
I mean, because when you got someone named Jokic who averages a triple-double, and it, shout out to my guy Giannis, man, because I mean, yeah, I wish people would stop nitpicking parts of his game because to be that dominant on the fast break and inside the paint, and he can, dribble the ball, get to the rim, and he's a good playmaker without shooting a lot of jump shots, is mad impressive for a big man at that. So
Yeah, he's 7 feet. Like what he's doing ain't normal. Like the speed that he has, the power. Like I did feel like he needed to add a jumper at one point. He did that in 2021 though.
yeah,
Like that Game 6 Finals performance is one of the best playoff performances I ever seen.
yeah,
So that's when I stopped slandering, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Now, my only issue is when they play us, he really like drops that elbow and the shoulder and all that. He be like offensive fouling like a motherfucker when he play us. So when he plays Boston, I don't like him. But I can respect I respect his game outside of that, man. Him and Dame have figured it out. When they was playing the Clippers, man, like Brook Lopez, he turned back the clock. He was doing putback dunks on Zubac. He was blocking shots, hitting threes.
and he can still do it. He's
37. I think people forget.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like when it's needed for him to like post up, like if it's like a mismatch, I'm like, bro, like, because he's one of the probably few players that changed their game at the right time.
Yeah.
Because at the Nets, it was strictly mid post, post up, putbacks, scoring the paint. I think when he left the Lakers, that's when he transitioned his whole game. But I mean, he was already a decent mid-range shooter, so why not make life easier for Giannis, spread the floor, and let Giannis do like majority of the paint scoring? So, I mean, I gotta give credit to him because he changed his game at the right time. Like
Him and Al Horford, like them two did it better than anybody.
Yeah, sure, yeah, because Al Horford was, and that's the thing. Like people so quick to change people's game, but like you can't change. Like you can't rush that. You know what I'm saying? Like with Anthony Edwards, him shooting threes, man, I'm like, he already a good slasher, so why not learn from people like Dame Lillard and Kevin Durant that taught him how to like set his feet when he shoot and be a better shooter? I mean, come on, bro, like that's free. That's free teaching, like, and it's paying off. So
yeah, he lead the NBA in 3-pointers made. So
and then he's shooting like 41% from threes. So I'm like, come on now, like.
So yeah, I've been impressed with the Bucks. Kuzma averaging 16 and 7 for the Bucks, so that's been a good pickup. You got AJ Green, who's a great shooter. They cool. I'm trying to put my Boston bias to the side. I do have disdain for them, not gonna lie, but being unbiased, they've been playing really good ball, 4 in a row. But just really wanted to harp in on Detroit, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy, Cade Cunningham, all NBA. 26, 10 assists, 6 boards from 14 wins to 32 and counting.
Yeah.
31 and counting. Like they really got a balanced team, man. Malik Beasley's been playing some of the best ball of his career, averaging 17 a game. Tobias averaging 14. Jalen Duren a double-double with 11 and 10. Schroeder had a big game yesterday against Atlanta. For those that didn't see, that game against Atlanta was lit. It was 148, 143. Schroeder had 17 last night. So the vets are coming in and buying in to what JD Bickerstaff is preaching for sure.
Yeah, and bringing in Schroeder is a great replacement for Avi because Avi out with the injury. So I wouldn't be surprised Detroit made some little noise. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll tell you this: if they stay at 6 and they got to match up with the Knicks, they're gonna push the Knicks. I don't know if they're gonna win. They beat the Knicks twice this season already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if they put some type of scare. Not like scared, like fear, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, because I mean, like you said, Jalen Duren, shout out to him, because he played for the U of M, University of Memphis. So I'm proud of him, elevating his game. And then, Big K, this is a 6'6" big guard who can do it all. Shoot, drive, finish, play make, defend. I mean, like consistently he's been doing that, but now you build around him with seasoned good veterans who has been in playoff atmosphere, deep playoff runs. So, like I said, I feel like that's my dark horse in the playoffs. Them or I still lean on Orlando. If they get their act right, like it was in the beginning of the season, they the
They better
Eastern
get out that 7th seed. I'll tell you that. They say the 7th seed, they going home.
Yeah, and like I said, bro, and I'm so mad about that because it's like it's unfortunate. Fortunate that was winning without Apollo, but now they kind of like mediocre when he came back. But I'm like, damn, bro, because in the beginning of the season, that was looking top 3 in the East. So
Franz Wagner's definitely been playing good basketball though.
Oh yeah,
he really. If he didn't get hurt, he was probably gonna be an all-star.
I don't want to talk about it because I was I was campaigning for him since mid-November. I'm like, man, but he from Germany. I was talk shit in Germany for real. For real, bro. I'm like, man, come on, bro. Like, but no, the Eastern Conference ain't. I can't sleep on the Eastern Conference because they got some dogs, that's hungry. So that first round series ain't gonna be just sweep or gentleman sweep. It's gonna be competition for sure.
Yeah, man. Like Orlando with Franz and Paolo, if they can get healthy and get into rhythm, that's definitely a dangerous team. Go with Bataze. They defend.
Yeah.
Like they got good interior defense, good perimeter defense as well with Suggs and KCP. Their offense just is a little bit too spotty this year for me to like trust them to win a series. I was high on them, but like offense just hasn't been good enough.
Yeah, it's just so crazy because
y'all barely got out of there though. They almost caught y'all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Defensively, bro, you can't sleep on them. It's just offensively, you have to perform much better than them. Because if you don't, you right in their hands, slow pace, So it's like with their offense, when Jalen Suggs come back, like teams like that, you can easily see like what they missing. Have they get someone like a CP3 type point guard in terms of like his skill set and what he brings, you can like at least fix their offense because you got the shooting and the players that can drive in the finish. It's just a matter of time of putting it together. You know what I'm saying? So and still they're very young still. They only 23, 24 or 23.
Yeah.
So give it time for sure. And then of course with guys like Anthony Black, Howard.
He's been playing really well too.
Yeah. So like, and then Cole Anthony is their spark plug. So if he gets going, hey, good luck, because we've seen it before. So I mean, when he gets going, so they got what they need in terms of like skill set offensively, and terms of like what they need to score. It's just what is your real identity on offense? Because Jalen Suggs is more defensive point guard that can shoot now, but like in the half court set, what you looking like in the playoff game?
Right.
So you can't always depend on Franz to be the playmaker because he got to score too. So
that's true.
So it's like that's what I'm saying. They just need that true facilitating kind of like a Tyus Jones. I would if Tyus Jones walk away from the Suns, they need to pick him up. Get a point guard that can like settle the offense now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's who I wanted them to sign, but he was out there till late August. They felt the need not to re-sign him. They bought back Gary Harris. I'm like, oh, you could have used that money for Tyus Jones, but I don't know. I'm not a GM. That didn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, Orlando GM's got a bad reputation, like in terms of history.
Yeah, for sure.
White, my guy T. I want to talk about it. I get PTSD because they paid Grant Hill so much money that they couldn't really get no other All-Star. Like after the Tim Duncan situation, like why would you pay this man so much money for him to be hurt every single season during a prime T-Mac career? I don't
They
understand.
didn't. This was Grant coming off Detroit. Grant in Detroit was cold.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah, it was just like every single season, like he played like 20 games and he was out.
yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Like he barely played with T-Mac.
And like his biggest help was like Mike Miller before he came to us.
Oh, they traded him after a year too.
Yep.
Traded
Like,
him for Too Good.
like the early 2000 GMs were kind of mad sketchy. I was
Kind of. They were very sketchy. They was giving up a
yeah.
young talent hella quick.
Yeah,
Like, we gave up on Joe Johnson after 40 fucking games, bro. Traded him for Tony Delk and Rodney Rogers. Traded Chauncey Billups after 38 games. Like, just dumb shit, man.
bro. And we know about the Kevin Garnett situation. Like, yeah, you finally bring in Sam Cassell and Spreewell, but like they're not, Spreewell was like kind of out of his prime then. So it's like that one great season,
And then they bring neither of them back. They get to the West Conference Finals, then you just let them go. Like, GMs in the 2000s was trash, dog.
It was good thing. Good thing I was only a kid then, because if I was like a teenager, they would have felt my wrath for sure. Especially for T-Mac, because I'm like, when I discovered like they didn't really like, yeah, if he stayed, he could have played with Dwight Howard. But I'm like, bro, they could have gotten so much more other pieces for him, but they paid so much money to Grant Hill that you couldn't really get the realistic pieces for T-Mac if Grant Hill kept getting hurt. But it was too late. And then you know what's crazy about this? The year T-Mac left the Magics, Grant Hill became an All-Star.
I don't remember him being an all-star in Orlando.
2005, look it up. I'm telling you. And that's when Steve Francis was on the Magic.
Oh, yeah. That whole Steve Francis thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if after this episode, just look it up. Grant Hill became an All-Star in 2005. I was pissed. I'm like, what do you mean?
I mean, to be fair, he was saying like he almost had to get his ankle amputated. He had so many issues with it. So it was like severe injuries. Like, he had screws in his ankle and shit.
I understand that, but I'm like, help out the young gun T-Mac. Like, you could have been like, hey, something within my contract or something if my ankles keep messing up. Because I'm like, who was helping T-Mac? Pat Garrity? They had an old Sean Kemp and a Patrick Ewing. I'm just leaving it at that. I'm just
Harold Armstrong, Pat Garrity. I remember he was like, man, my starting center at one point was Andrew DeClerc. I remember him saying that.
See, I barely remember that name. See?
Yeah, he wasn't special.
Hey, bro, I'm just like, I keep telling people like there's a reason why T-Mac never made out the first round. Just look at the well.
He should have been Houston though. I ain't giving him pass in Houston.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, man, it just part of me want to be biased because that's when he was really just banked over injuries. But it was just unfortunate at the wrong time and with y'all being hurt. It was either y'all was hurt or he was hurt.
And the year they both was out, they got out the first round by Aaron Brooks. That was a crazy shit. It was him and Ron Artest, I think.
Yeah, Ron and Shane Battier.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So we're gonna slide to the Western Conference teams 6 through 9 because I think the Kings are out of it. The whole new coach thing with Doug Christie kind of wore off. They've been struggling recently, giving up a lot of points. Bringing in Levine hasn't really seemed helpful for them. They kind of look like Chicago Bulls from a couple years ago.
Chicago Kings, you put it out, got the
Pretty much. Like, still don't really have point guard. The Munkett point guard situation not really thriving like it was before. And I try to tell him, Darius, I'm like, that ain't no long-term experience. Like, experiment. Once teams get enough film, like, he's not a point guard. It's not going to work. But yeah, Clippers at 31-25. They've lost 2 straight though. They got smacked by the Pacers and they lost to the Bucks coming out the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Kawhi and Norman Powell are out the next game. So they are really in the danger zone right now of like falling out of the
Kawhi.
playoffs. Yeah, Powell's out.
No, I say Kawhi.
Yeah, they say he's out the next game. So I'm like, man, these standards are too close and we're late in the season. They don't need to be missing these games, man. Zubac's playing well, but they're not involving him late in the games. I saw that when they was against the Bucks.
Yeah.
Harden, he's still playing fairly well. I see a lot of Clippers fans don't like Amir Coffey. They feel like he gets too many minutes.
No, I wouldn't trust me. They went, boy, man, look.
They hate him. They find a player every year that they just don't like. I remember before it was Terrence Mann. Now it's Amir Coffey.
I'm so surprised they let him go.
I mean, I'm not, though. His contract was a lot. He wasn't producing well enough for his contract.
I felt like when Harden came, it kind of like diminished just a tad bit because, I mean, before Harden came, he was kind of balling out. But I guess, but I'm not in the coaching staff, so I really don't know behind the scenes. But you can, once you read body language, once you see it,
he lost his confidence for sure.
Yeah. So, and then they don't play the same position, but like in terms of rotation, he's gonna fluctuate his minutes. So,
I think they gotta get younger after this year too. Like,
most
Jones had a good career, but I don't think he's really as a productive player as much anymore.
Yeah.
Bogdanovich, I don't think he's really been that great for them. Ben Simmons had the one game and people trying to do victory laps. So I haven't heard much since.
Yeah.
As I was telling Darius, like, man, I'm not impressed with one. He wanted to put together like the rest of the season to really cook for me to be a believer in anything he got going on. Like, I just yeah, they're in the danger zone, man. They are one game ahead of the Timberwolves and one game ahead of the Mavericks.
Yeah.
With the Wolves, they gotta get healthier. Nas Reed's been playing really well recently. McDaniels has been playing better.
Yeah.
Julius has been out for a while. He needs to come off the bench when he come back. Like, you can't have him take Nas Reed's spot at this point.
That's what I call you're testing the ego. Because if I'm Randall, I'm like, okay, the Knicks let you go for a reason. Go to another playoff team. You see what's going on. You can lead the second unit because we're not saying you're trash. You don't fit certain certain lineup and certain offensive schemes. So, I mean, and then Nas Reed been there longer than you have, so it's more natural for Reed to, if he come back, let Reed start. And then
I don't think he's going to do that, but he should do that though.
Man, they better get some backbone from Anthony Edwards and be like, hey, like, is this where we're going? If we want to make a deep playoff run like last year, this the right we got to go. I mean,
what you want to say?
Go ahead.
Before they lost the last 2 games, they were playing pretty well. Like, they're 6-4 in their last 10, and Randall's been out for all of that. So they shouldn't have lost to the Rockets. That was a bad loss. Like, Rockets took a horrible loss to Utah. Like, they're ahead, but I don't know. They got to get Fred VanVleet back because something's a little off with them boys.
They don't. It's they're just another. They still very young. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when they hit their high strides, and that's when you discover yourself in the low strides because they took a major slip. Because I was kind of saying like, man, they looking better than us, and after we beat them, nah, we better than them. So, yeah, man. On to the Mavericks. Once Gafford, AD, and Lively come back.
Yeah, that's the only reason they're losing to me. They don't have no front court presence. There's only so much you can do. You're missing 3 centers. They signed Moses Brown, who's one of the – he can rebound, and that's it. Everything else is a struggle for him.
Yeah, and then I think potentially the playoffs or playing start today, the Warriors going against them. And in my
the Wolves.
Oh, the Wolves? Oh, okay, Wolves. Yeah. Either or, well, if it's the Warriors, that's an easier matchup per se, because even for the Wolves, I'm like an aggressive, a healthy AD playing the 4. Can you see what he did just that one game playing the 4?
Yeah.
He got hurt, so I'm just like, and then you got Gafford and Lively can play lob, so it's like
the Wolves need Dante DiVincenzo back too. Like he's been out for a while.
Yeah,
they need that shooting. So
yeah.
And Ant-Man got chilled with the technical fouls. He got 14. And you know the NBA limit is 16 for you get 1 game suspensions for each technical after 16. So he's dangerously close. They don't need to be dropping games, and he's suspended. That's it. So
yeah. You know, I'm glad he got these texts because we need that fire back on these referees just to be like, bring that excitement back because
he about to cost his team with that though, man.
No, I understand. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I understand with that. It's just at some point you gotta because in the Cavaliers, even when we played against the Cavaliers last night, some Cavaliers fans saying surprised that we or the coaches getting ejected because that was calling way too many tic-tac fouls for Donovan Mitchell, especially down the stretch. So it was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But I digress because, hey, I mean, we barely get technical fouls on our team. So
I'm surprised because Bane was rolling over Donovan Mitchell. They almost got to a whole altercation on the sideline.
Man, Donovan Mitchell instigated it because I think it was Bane was trying to get the jump ball call, but I think it was too late. So I guess he was trying to get up, but Donovan rolled him over on purpose. And I keep telling people, Desmond Bane is from Gary, Indiana. Y'all keep playing with him, y'all want to. Gary, Indiana.
He's a real animal.
Dog, I'm like Zach Brenner from that same area. Y'all just don't And Donovan Mitchell, I'm not talking smack, but you came from a private high school, my dude. Don't mess with Desmond Bane. Don't do that. Please don't. Please don't.
It's the heat of the game, man. You go after a jump ball, you never know what happens, bro.
Yeah. I just knew he was trying to say some words or trying to get him started. I'm like, all right. If you tried that with what's his face from the Patriots, the coach, with a James Johnson, you know better. You just don't. I get it, you was cooking, but don't burn yourself while you cook. Don't burn yourself. Don't burn yourself.
So 2 more teams to talk about. We brushed over Dallas. They just gotta get that front line healthy, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's their main issue. And yeah, I'm surprised. I think they said Cody Martin. Was it Cody Martin is hurt? They say he's gonna be out indefinitely too. They're just dealing with a lot of injuries.
Wrong time.
And the Warriors, they're playing good ball. It seems like Pods has really been playing better since Jimmy Butler's been there. It's something about Butler with them role players. You be having them play hella confident.
I mean, and then you see Draymond say on his podcast, this probably the happiest he ever been with a Warriors player or teammate outside of Steph Curry. When Jimmy Butler came, he was he was saying something now I can really talk good defensive schemes or whatever with another player. It makes sense. And, so it's everybody thought it wouldn't work out because these corny memes about, Draymond punching Jordan Poole, whatever. But I'm you just look at pure basketball, I'm and then Jimmy Butler was injury prone all season. He was just dealing with Pat Riley. So a healthy Jimmy Butler, and like you say, he's working out. So and then of course in the playoffs, like I said, I feel like that worst matchup within the play-in it's probably a healthy Dallas Maverick because they don't have no big man. And if all them trying to drive in, that's Block City. Literally. And then, like I said, who gonna stop AD? Probably Draymond with a good foul here and there to injure him, but I'm gonna knock on the table. So
if it started today, they'd be playing either the Kings and the Suns are a game and a half behind them. But the Suns have the hardest strength of schedule left in the NBA. They gotta play Cleveland. They gotta play us twice. They gotta play OKC twice, I think. So, like, yeah, I don't see it.
and they got us tomorrow.
Yeah, their strength of schedule too hard for them to like make a push. They're gonna blow it up this summer for sure.
KD finna get a good 40. That's all I know.
Man.
I'm a KD fan, so I'm just like, oh.
I'm guessing it'll be Warriors and Kings. The Kings, they've been slipping, so the Warriors are gonna beat them. They already beat them by like damn near 30 last time they played. I can see something's off with the Kings right now.
It just
I like how close 6 through 9 is for real. It's gonna be some moving parts. Clippers gotta get healthy.
Yeah.
The Wolves gotta get healthy too. Like if the Mavericks nor the Wolves fear OKC. Even though OKC beat them last night, they had to really work for that game. And Minnesota beat OKC a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mavericks have beat them 3 times already. A lot of people ain't believing in OKC because they're like, yo, when Shea's off the court, J-Dub don't really step up like people want him to. They play great defense. I'm not ready to just – I think they could come out the West, but one of these older teams clip them, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
That's just the best way to put it. Like, if they was a matchup with Golden State, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, they going to push them. Like,
yeah, I would say, like if they whoever in the play-in is going to play against OKC, your biggest competition is the Timberwolves because I'll say this. I feel like with how Nas Reed playing starting to line up, and Nas Reed is hella agile for his size.
yeah.
So you talk about you want to run, he can run. So it's like it's one of them teams where you have to literally watch the game, like, you know, possession by possession to see where, like, you know, where people was talking about, because I'm like, the worst thing the Timberwolves can do is they get to smothered up by OKC defense on a perimeter sake. Because I think someone posted, like, if you double Anthony Edwards a good amount of times, it's going to throw his game off.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of like for them, and this is where I would say this is their Achilles heel. Who is their weakest offensive player on the team? Rudy Gobert. So defensively, cool, we get it. But offensively, he's gonna have to really be, because on the pick and rolls and stuff, you can't let Anthony Edwards take too many threes to protect the game. So basically, in shorter term, playing hero ball.
Yeah, yeah.
So if OKC defense make Anthony Edwards where he can't really trust his teammates, it's over with.
If I'm Minnesota, I try to get that 6 seed and play Denver in the first round. They got Denver's number.
Yeah.
I remember they beat them by like 35 earlier this year. Yeah. Rudy Gobert be turning up in that matchup. And like, that's the one team I think Denver don't want to play.
Yeah. Because I think they second seed right now because we lost.
Nah, y'all got the tiebreaker over there. I'm looking at the standings right now.
Okay. I know we tied, but I don't know what seed, like, who got.
Y'all are still 2. Barely, but y'all still 2.
Okay.
Y'all got the same record as them, both 37-20.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think the Nuggets want to play Minnesota in their first round.
Yeah.
That's the one team I'm like, yo, that's not a good matchup for Denver at all. They better hope for like the Clippers, maybe Dallas, maybe. I don't know. It's so close. Like
Yeah.
the fact that the 6th seed and the 9th seed are a game and a half from each other. Like who knows, man? It's hella close.
And for Sacramento, I mean, I said this before De'Aaron Fox got traded. When you look on paper, they're a top team offensive team based off the starting five lineup. Because offensively, they got the package. Defensively, they out of package. They can't guard a lick. So
Right.
it's kind of like it's just like for the Suns' sake, you want the Kings to slip off even more. Because if the Kings slipping off, let the Warriors win some games, and then you got the Suns right in it. So
I just haven't seen enough from the Suns to make me
yeah,
believe it.
yeah,
Them boys is 2-8 in their last 10 games.
yeah.
Like it is bad. I just don't see like it's no fire. They don't like each other. There's no game plan. They don't defend. It's just so many issues, bro.
All because it's like you trying to trade KD, you trying to trade Bradley Beal. That's gonna cause locker room issues, and the GM just sitting there, just like, oh, just go out there and hoop. Like, no, bro, you put your best players in all these crazy trade talks. Now the locker room feeling some type of way because you know what I'm saying. It just, if anything, that caused way more division than what it needed to be.
For sure. You
So
can see it in the body language too.
And like I said, I just feel so ashamed because I hype these guys to be a top 4 team in the West because I'm like, okay, they got Ty Jones, they got a true point guard facilitate, but
They look worse than last year. Everybody was hitting on Frank Vogel. They look way worse than last year.
I know, and it's like I said, on paper, top 4 team in the West. When you watch them,
bottom 4 team in the West. I ain't trying to go too hard on the slander, but they're not even fun to watch. Them and the Sixers are like the hardest teams to watch this year, bro.
And I'm like, how I play basketball, I'm a mid-range guy. I love watching D Book and KD hoop and how they get buckets. But it's like you said, bro, it's like them two can get buckets all day. What about your other teammates? What they gonna do? What's y'all? It's so many questions that really needs to be answered. And that's why I was like, for them, if I'm a Suns fan, I would want the Kings or the Warriors somehow, but I want the Kings to slip off more. And if they're going like a little 4-game winning streak somehow in a row, they good. Look,
I know a lot, brother.
look, I'm trying to be optimistic for them. You know what I'm saying? So
you care more than they do.
But
they just gave up like a 20-0 run to the Raptors yesterday, man. Like they cooked.
The reason why I'm vouching for them or caring or having sympathy because I'm a big KD fan. So I'm just like help the brother out because if somehow if you got stuff in the LeBron and the Kyrie in the playoffs or playing or whatever the case may be, you gonna need KD in there too. But I'm just sitting there like, bro, I had never seen someone to still be efficient and scoring the way KD does, and your team losing. So it ain't like he's not showing up. He just showing up with him. So,
yeah, man. So appreciate everybody for pulling up. Talked about like the under the radar teams, what people consider middle of the pack teams, Eastern Western Conference. But it's an intriguing race. These teams are separated by 1.5 games, 2 games.
Yeah.
So appreciate J Boogie for pulling up. Gonna have this episode out real soon, man.
So
and We gonna talk more. Like Tay, you ain't on this episode, but I'm gonna be on your scalp on Thursday's episode. Believe that.
I can't. I cannot wait. I give. Hey, you know what? I'm finna find me the biggest popcorn box I can find with some butter. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, man. That concludes another episode of Hoop Panel. Follow my guy, J Boogie, J Clutch Sports on all social media platforms. Go ahead, shout that out real quick, man.
Hey, follow me on Twitter on J Clutch Hoops 1. You see it on my TikTok, J Boogie 1998, and follow my YouTube, J Clutch Sports, and follow us, the Hoop Panel. We thriving day by day. Make sure you guys follow the Hoop Panel on all platforms.
Yeah, Hoop Panel on all platforms. Just did a couple collab podcasts and whatnot. Did something with my guy, the Narrative God, recently. So we're just trying to move and work with different people, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Gonna have some clips up on TikTok this week, some YouTube clips. But shout out to J Boogie, shout out to everybody on the team that couldn't make it today. But they're gonna be on Thursday's episode.
For sure.
We out.
For sure.